The National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Clinic, simply called the MSME Clinic, is one of the strategies of the federal government in collaboration with the Bank of Industry to improve local manufacturing. At the clinics, which are spread in various states of the Federation, key frontline government agencies and stakeholders interact with a view of removing impending bottlenecks. Well, it's a platform for effective dissemination of information on the federal government's policies, initiatives and programs, as well as boosting the market for locally made goods and services by creating awareness for them. With 5 years of foundation, 15 partner agencies, 15,000 SMEs across the country, and 785 programs already carried out, the federal government continues to spread the clinic to different states for easy access to those who really need it, the SMEs. The latest is in Imo. The official launch of the 29th edition of the National Micro, Small and Medium Enterprise Clinic held in Owerri, the state capital, is a focus on this episode of BOI Weekly. You're welcome. I'm Ini John Mekwa. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, arriving at the venue of the official launch of the 29th MSME Clinic in Owerri, the Imo State capital. He is accompanied by the State Governor, Senator Hope Uzodinma, the Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment, the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Bank of Industry, and other dignitaries. From the stands, the Vice President proceeds to the hall. The Minister of State for Industry, Trade and Investment highlights the importance of MSMEs in the country's economic growth. She reiterates the federal government's commitment to provide an enabling environment for businesses to thrive.
Let me reiterate that the MSME clinics have been a veritable part of the present administration's specific initiatives that target robust support for the MSME sector. It is also imperative to state that the clinics, periodically organized by the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, in collaboration with the Office of His Excellency the Vice President, have significantly impacted the subsector. Furthermore, these clinics provide an ingenious cluster of all of government business support services that offer advice and information on what businesses could and should do to start well and thrive. Over the next 2 days, operators in the MSME space will engage with regulators and business advisory experts on how to facilitate and grow their businesses. In the same vein, young entrepreneurs would have the opportunity to pitch their social businesses to a jury of financing experts. Ladies and gentlemen, our experience from the past MSME clinics has reinvigorated the commitment and sustained interest of the federal government of Nigeria to reposition the subsector for efficiency, growth, and development. Some of the lessons learned include the resolve by regulatory services and agencies to decentralize and streamline registration processes. This is apart from access to expert advice and cost-effective real-time solutions to challenges facing enterprises. It is therefore obvious that this program is distinct from the norm, as it aims to institutionalize a culture of response and supportive services to MSMEs, thereby leading to improved ease of doing business for our enterprises. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, the decision to develop the Owerri Fashion and Design Shared Facility is in recognition of its cosmopolitan nature and geographical positioning. Fortuitously, bordered by key commercial centers in southeastern Nigeria, Owerri is one of the oldest urban areas in this region. The facility has over 150 machines of various types to keep tailors and fashion designers within and around Owerri metropolis to scale up their productivity and capacity utilization in line with international standards. At the regional level, the advent of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area has opened up more opportunities for MSMEs in the continent, especially here in Nigeria. The federal government is therefore making all efforts to enable Nigerian MSMEs maximize the opportunities provided by the AFCFTA. In this regard, the National Action Committee on AFCFTA has over time engaged relevant stakeholders and subsequently drawn up programs and projects for integrating Nigerian MSMEs into the African market. It is expected that with the repositioning of our MSMEs through activities such as this clinic, the integration of this critical sector into the larger African market will be seamless. I therefore sincerely hope that participants at this clinic and end users of the shared facility will maximize the opportunities provided by these interventions to improve their livelihood and develop the economy of Imo State and the nation at large. As I conclude, let me once again appreciate His Excellency, the Vice President, for his exemplary leadership and devotion to the cause of MSMEs, and to also thank His Excellency, Senator Hope Uzodinma, for the warm reception and excellent arrangements made for these events. I thank you very much for listening, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Thank you.
Beyond the minister's discourse on the importance of MSMEs, the Imo State governor expresses happiness over a dream come true. He explains his administration's resolve to ensure a shared prosperity in Imo State.
For MSMEs is a salutary signpost for the shared prosperity agenda of this administration. This is why I can never thank President Muhammad Buhari and his team enough for the creative enterprise expressed in this MSE scheme. To say that this creative vision of his administration has given vent to our shared prosperity program will be stating the obvious. What needs to be said is that we sincerely appreciate the federal government for almost being there for Imo State. The event of today is yet another testament of your commitment to the development of Imo State. On this note, on behalf of the government and people of Imo State, I most heartily welcome and commend our dear Vice President, Professor Osinbajo, for the formal unveiling of Imo Micro, Small and Medium-Scale Enterprises. This laudable scheme is a collaborative venture between the federal government, the state government, and some other private sector partners. Indeed, the cardinal objective is the empowerment of our young men and women and total eradication of poverty in Imo State. Not so long ago, His Excellency, the President of Nigeria, President Muhammad Buhari, was in Imo State to commission some strategic projects executed by our administration. Before then, His Excellency, the Vice President, Professor Osinbajo, was also in our state for the inauguration and commissioning of some critical projects constructed by our administration. These are clear signs that something is happening in Imo State. we must thank our great leaders for this attention that is always being given to our dear state. I am glad, therefore, to observe that Imo State is not only the eastern heartland of hospitality, where activities are constantly going on, but is slowly but steadily returning to its lost glory of being the industrial hub of the Southeast. While I do sincerely welcome our erudite and amiable Vice President once more to Imo State, I want to use this auspicious occasion of the event, which is a very symbolic pathway to an industrial turnaround, to tell Your Excellency that we have commenced the revival and recovery of all the moribund industries built during the administration of our late Sam Bakwe of the blessed memory. As Your Excellency may already know, we have revived the Ada palm industry with efforts in full gear to make it function at full capacity soonest. When that is in place, the factory will be in a position to employ 20,000 jobs. Our focus is now on the abandoned shoe industry, which was taken over by Amcon. Amcon took over our modern shoe industry built by the late Mbakwe administration for reneging its financial obligations. I'm glad to inform Your Excellency that we have struggled through internally generated revenue to pay Amcon fully the total indebtedness. And Amcon has also returned the industry back to the state government.
The Vice President, on his part, enumerates the federal government's plan for young entrepreneurs as he explains the concept of shared facilities being promoted by the Bank of Industry.
I bring you all the warm felicitations of Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, who has made MSMEs a priority for his administration because they are an engine of growth for the economy and because they account for almost half of national income and 3/4 of the jobs created in our country. Given our determination to support our countrymen and women who run small businesses, we have held MSME clinics in at least 28 states of the Federation. The MSME clinic is an opportunity for small businesses to meet with regulatory agencies such as NAFDAC, the Corporate Affairs Commission, the SON, SMEDAN, Bank of Industry, etc., so that they can get to know what the problems of small businesses in this state are, and the small businesses themselves can benefit from the advice and, in some cases, the help of some of these regulatory agencies. We have explained to the regulatory agencies that they are meant to be facilitators of business, facilitators of trade, not obstacles to trade, which is why we bring them to every state where we have an MSME clinic so that they can interact with the businesses themselves. In the course of running the clinics, we noticed that in addition to their request for a more friendly regulatory environment, MSMEs also wanted to be supported in terms of production facilities which were lacking or too expensive. And this is how the idea of supporting MSMEs by providing at least one shared facility in every state of the Federation came up. This is also why the President approved the shared facility scheme for MSMEs as part of the MSME Clinics program. And I'd like to spend a bit of time explaining the whole concept of shared facilities. A shared facility is a place where the government provides various equipment and machines for a particular type of trade. These are usually very expensive industrial type equipment and machines. They are usually too expensive for any small business to buy. So what government does is that it invests in buying the equipment and in providing the space for the facility. And that facility is located in an area where there is a cluster of that trade or business, or a place where there are many people who are engaged in the particular trade or business. The idea is that such people can then have access to the use of the machines and equipment in that facility. In this way, government assists many people involved in the same trade with machines and equipment that they would not otherwise have been able to buy themselves. To do this, the federal government partners with interested states, the Bank of Industry, Nexim Bank, and the private sector. And the particular trade or business to be supported is chosen in collaboration with the state government and relevant MSME stakeholders. In 2021 alone, work has commenced on the development of 10 such facilities across the states of the Federation to complement those previously commissioned in Anambra, in Benue, and Lagos. In Benue State, we built a 200,000 capacity yam storage facility at the Zaki Biam International Yam Market, which is the largest yam market in Africa and possibly in the world. In Lagos State, we built the Eco MSME Fashion Hub 1 around Allen Avenue, which services about 300 tailors and fashion designers daily. The Anambra State facility is in Ogbunike, Oyi. It's a shoemaking facility with industrial equipment and machines within close proximity of the Anambra Shoemakers Cluster. The Edo State facility is a woodwork, carpentry, and cabinet making facility located within the Edo Production Center in Benin City. And we are, by the grace of God, opening that center in Edo State on Friday the 17th, which is this Friday, 2021. There is also the Kaduna State facility. It's located within the Soba Tomato Cluster in the Soba local government area of the state. The manufacturing of specialized machinery for tomato paste production is ongoing and is expected to be commissioned within the first quarter of 2022. We have a Kebbi State facility located in Benin Kebbi, also in Kebbi State. The facility will provide 2 lines of rice milling machinery to assist rice farmers to also mill their rice and benefit more from the rice production value chain. Equipment manufacture has also been completed, with the facility expected to be commissioned in the first quarter of 2022. The Ogun State also has a shared facility. This is to be located within the popular Adire market in Abeokuta in Ogun State, at the request of the state government. Under the scheme, works on upgrade of internal infrastructure will commence in January of 2022 and is expected to be completed in April 2022. Ebonyi also has a facility located within the Uburu Industrial Cluster in Uburu, Ebonyi State. Machines are being produced for the production of various types of footwear and leather works for shoemakers in Ebonyi State.
After listing the number of shared facilities already in operation in the country, the Vice President speaks on the Imo MSME Clinic, which is the 29th, and what is expected of the shared facility.
Commissioned today, about an hour and a half ago, is the 4th to be commissioned in the country. It is a facility strategically located beside the Amakohia market, considered to be one of the most important markets within the metropolis, and of course is along the famous Olu Road, which is one of the most important commercial areas within the city. It's a well-equipped facility for the shared use of those who are involved in the production of various garment wares and clothing items. It has special facilities that enable it to be a one-stop garment production center for end-to-end production of various types of clothing items. The facility comprises about 200 world-class, both manual and fully automated fashion equipment, and it will provide service for 350 small businesses daily and 110,000 each year. It will enable fashion businesses. It will enable fashion businesses within the Owerri metropolis and environs to carry out several tailoring activities, including straight sewing, weaving, hemming, embroidery, monogramming, screen printing, and heat. The monogramming facility is particularly important because it enables those who want to use the monogramming facilities either to make T-shirts or caps or face caps to be able to do several thousands in one day. These facilities are not available in most parts of the country, and many of them are made available here. The idea is to improve the quality of locally made clothing items, improve household income for local tailors, and create jobs, and create access to high quality and modern machines. I think that it will also improve the contribution of tailors to the revenue of the local and state and federal governments as a whole. But let me commend His Excellency the Governor of Imo State and his team for their commitment to improving the lives and opportunities available to the good people of this state. This partnership with the federal government is an excellent example of the way that a state government should work jointly with the federal government in order to benefit the people of the state. The federal government and federal resources belong to all Nigerians. Each state is entitled to seek partnership with the federal government to better the fortunes of their own people. In April, I was here to commission several road projects, including the famous 3-kilometer-long Dick Tiger Road, a road covering more than 10 streets, including the Dick Tiger Street itself. And its commissioning solved the problems of flooding in that neighborhood. Only a few weeks before I came, the President commissioned virtually 2 major road projects, the World Bank to Federal Secretariat Road and the Azomta to General Hospital to Port Harcourt Road. In September, the President came personally to commission some roads in this state. Of course, since then, there have been several commissioning of infrastructure projects. This is the value of good, purposeful government. The only way to provide good jobs and a decent standard of living for our people is by providing good infrastructure to enable them to do their work and to run their businesses unhindered. This aligns with Mr. President's own belief that the building of roads, rail, power, digital technology, and other infrastructural assets must be the first priority for economic development.
The words of advice by the Vice President on the need to ensure peace in the state and the country in general is a timely one, as growth and development will be an uphill task in an atmosphere of violence. With the MSME clinic in Owerri, the people have assistance closer to them, and this should encourage more entrepreneurs and even help existing ones boost productivity and growth. Also, the Bank of Industry, which is a partner in the MSME clinic, continues to provide interventions for industries in all sectors. Are you an entrepreneur out there, or you know anyone in need of support to grow his or her business? Kindly visit any of the branches of BOI closest to you or log on to the website boi.ng. You can also follow the bank on all social media platforms displayed on the screen. Well, that's it on this episode of the program, BOI Weekly. Let's do it again next week. I'm Idni John Mekwa.